Have you ever had an interview that you thought went really well, only to check your inbox and find out that it didn't? Then you're left thinking, is it something that I said? Did I say the wrong thing? What happened? What did I do wrong? Today I'm going to share with you 7 things that you should never say in a job interview, and these are probably things that you have said and didn't think was a big deal. These 7 things are so important, especially if you want to come across as a top candidate and impress the hiring managers. And if you do, then you want to avoid these 7 things. Plus, if you stick around until the end, I'll tell you one thing you should say in every interview if you want to stand out, impress the hiring manager, and increase your chances of getting hired. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Adeshola. I am a career strategist who helps high-achieving corporate professionals secure new jobs they love at companies they love. My clients and students have landed interviews and job offers at top companies like HBO, Google, Vogue, Facebook, and so many other amazing places. And my career advice and expertise has been featured in Forbes, New York Times, Refinery 29, and so many other places that you're probably familiar with. Okay, so let's get into the 7 things that you should never say if you want to come across as the top candidate, the MVP, and the person to hire. So we're going to start from 7 and then work our way down to 1. So number 7, you want to avoid saying anything negative or unnecessary about your current company. You would think that only rookies make this mistake, but you would be surprised. If you find yourself saying things like, I don't feel challenged in my current position and that's why I'm ready for a change, or that I don't feel supported in my current position and that's why I'm looking for something else, then you are making this mistake. Talking about your current company, even as a way to show why you're ready for the next transition in your career, is a no. Keep it focused on the future and what you hope to gain rather than what you're missing or what you have experienced in your previous positions. Focus on what you want to do next and subtract all the extra details. Number 6, you want to avoid saying, I'm ready to start on Monday. I know, even if you are ready to start on Monday, even if you are ready to get back into the grind and hustle and you're currently unemployed, this is not the best thing to do, especially if you want to come across as a competitive candidate. Because if you tell the hiring manager before you're even hired that you're ready to start as soon as possible, then you lose a lot of the wiggle room that you will be able to have in the negotiation process if you were to be hired. And you don't want to do that. You want to get as many coins as you can get in your next position. And if you're currently employed, you want to avoid saying this as well, because it will make them wonder how valuable you truly are to your current company. Because if you're saying you're ready to start on Monday, then that's signaling that you don't have any projects or responsibilities that you need to tie the loose ends on, and that you don't really have any value right now to your current company, which will make them wonder, will you really have value for them as well? Number 5, you want to avoid saying that my weakness is that I'm a perfectionist. Please. Like, give me a break. So I have interviewed so many people for different opportunities, and I can tell you that I, for one, hate when someone tries to spin their strength as a weakness. Like, sis, we know you can do better than that. It's so much better to be upfront about your real weakness that's non-essential to the role and to share the steps you've taken to improve that weakness than to try to give the hiring manager something that they want to hear. Doing that does not come across as authentic and makes them wonder what is really your weakness, which doesn't answer the question. Number 4, this is a mistake that so many people make. People who are underpaid in their current roles, people who make a lot of money in their current positions. And it is saying that in my current position, I make insert whatever you make. So telling the hiring manager before you're hired what you make in your current position is a no. Your current salary is not an indication of your skills, your expertise, your value, the impact, the contributions you can make in your next position. Sharing your salary before you actually are offered the job is a very quick way to limit your earning potential. So avoid it. And in my other upcoming videos, I may even talk about how to do this, but for now you need to know that you need to avoid this like the plague. So if you're like, oh my gosh, these 4 things alone have shown me that I'm doing my job search completely completely wrong and I don't even know what I'm doing, then do not worry. You can go ahead and grab my free guide on how to go from 0 interviews to dream job offers. And I have some tips on how to even navigate those interviews you might already be having so that you can maximize them and get hired. So the link is below, and let's jump into number 3. You want to avoid saying, I'm not good at this, but whatever comes after that. Saying I'm not good at this, but is like your partner telling you, I don't love you, but. Anything after but, we are not trying to hear. We don't want to hear because you already told me you don't love me. So it's the same thing in the interview process. If you're telling the hiring manager, I'm not good at this, but you've already lost their attention because they're wondering if you're the best candidate if you're not good at this. And so you want to rephrase that without saying but, so that it's still focused on what you can do in the next position and how you can contribute in the way that they need for the role. You want to just go straight into the experience you do have that will show you'll be an asset for the job, or that will show that you're equipped to handle the challenge. But remove but from your vocabulary. Number 2, you want to not say I'm amazing at what I do or anything similar to that. You want to think of your interview like a talent show. You don't just go to a talent show and tell them what you're good at, you show them what you're good at. And so the best way to do that is to avoid not just saying that you're amazing, but show them you're amazing with your experiences and examples and results and stories and accomplishments and all the things that you have done that will paint the picture for the hiring manager to conclude that you are amazing at what you do, rather than just telling them and hoping and assuming that they believe it. Number 1, you want to not say I don't have any questions. Asking questions is the best way to help ensure that you are making an informed decision about where you want to spend the next year or so in your career. And as promised, on that note, now that you know the 7 things that you should never say in your interviews if you want to come across as a top candidate, I'm going to share with you the 1 thing you should say in your interviews so that you impress the hiring manager and increase your chances of getting hired. And that 1 thing is asking the right question. And so here's a question that you should be asking in every one of your interviews if you want to come across as a top candidate and get hired. Ideally, if offered the role, what are the biggest priorities and challenges that you would like for me to tackle in my first 90 days? This is an excellent question because it shows the hiring manager that you're already thinking about how you can be successful right when you join the company, and it allows them to visualize you in your first 90 days so that they see you and you alone in that position. If you want to know even more questions you should ask in your job interviews that's going to show that you're a problem solver, an asset, and a team player, then let me know in the comments and I could whip up a video on that. And if you want even more tips on how to impress hiring managers, get hired, and move forward in your job search, then go ahead and grab my free guide on how to go from 0 interviews to dream job offers. The link is below. And in my next video, I'll be talking all about how to overcome imposter syndrome, stop playing small, and go after the roles that you really want. So if you know you need to hear that, then you want to go ahead and subscribe so that you do not miss that video when it drops. And in the meantime, get cozy and watch my other videos on how to stand out, get hired, and impress hiring managers.